Hello, everybody. This is Tetrafolium, back to discuss my preparations for the game of the season. This one is for all the marbles. The winner of this one is likely going to be undefeated in the preseason. The regular season. Um, and is going to guarantee themselves the one spot, the top seed in the playoffs. As you all might know, I've been hyping it up a little bit. I'm going to be playing the Anor Londo Azus. Their team is very tough. Just look at their top three. These are all Pokemon who, a generation ago, were OU staples. Um, if we went back to Gen 6, I mean, Dragapult might have been banned. And these two, absolute behemoths. It's a super scary team. I don't have to explain Dragapult to you. It's got really, really, really high speed. One of the fastest Pokemon in the game. And with a choice specs, very hard hitting on the special side, but also can opt to be physical. Very, very difficult. It is his Terra Captain. He could go Terra Ghost or Terra Steel. Against my team, I think he's almost always going to be Terra Steel because I have a little bit of a Steel type problem. I mean, look at 3 of my Pokemon are weak to Steel. It's really bad. Azumarill, also super spooky, can be a very bulky Assault Vest Pokemon, but not likely for my team. He will probably be running Belly Drum. That is super scary. Also has a priority Stab Aqua Jet, which can cleave through teams at +6. Scizor, also super spooky. Steel type Pokemon that I don't deal well with, but probably a little bit more on the defensive side because it's his only possible defogger. And I doubt he'll forego that against a team that has potential spikes and toxic spikes as well as stealth rocks. Although I'm only opting to bring the toxic spikes this time. Uh, yeah, those guys are not nice. The next 3 Pokemon also not nice. Grimmsnarl is the quintessential screen setter. While it's been falling off as of late in the Smogon metagame, in this draft league, still pretty strong. I only have 1 dark type to abuse its potential Thunder Wave spam in Agent Stinker, so I have to be careful about any potential Thunder Waves or anything like that if he opts to bring Grimmsnarl. Although I'll be honest, I don't think he is. If I really thought he was gonna bring it, I would have probably brought the Rock to have some screen removal, or probably put like Psychic Fangs on something. But I just don't think he's gonna bring it. I don't know why, just a gut feeling. Crook, spooky, could be a Scarf Pokemon, and if so, is really fast. Hits pretty hard with Stab Earthquake and Stab Crunch. Does not get knockoff this generation, which is really nice. And it's most likely going to be the rocker for his team. He might be Scarf with rocks. He might be Scarf without rocks. He might not have Scarf, just have rocks. I don't know. Could be. Gonna have to scout that. Espathra is scary against some teams. Against my team, I don't think it'll be so bad. Serena hits it really hard with U-turn. And then I also have Skunk Tank to just absolutely negate its Lumina Crash. And it does not have Speed Boost, which is something extremely important to note for this draft league. So I have a feeling he might not bring it. Passimian is a decent Pokemon for a low tier, but it thrives off of getting fighting type moves off, and my team is really strong against fighting types, so I doubt he'll bring that. His 3 new additions to his team since the beginning of the draft are Muck, Vaporeon, and Goodra. I really don't know what to say about any of them. Muck is kind of bulky, but like, what is it gonna do? Aside from like throw out, I don't know. like a poison jab, try to fish for a poison. Um, ah, Vaporeon's kind of bulky, but who cares? Gudra is interesting because it's got quite a diverse move pool, but like it's pretty slow and it's not super strong. If I can get Agent Jaeger set up, or if I can have it out in front of Gudra, its Ice Spinner is going to do mega damage. So I think it's not going to be that big a deal. We'll have to see though. As for my team, uh, I've got Mothman, who is going to be faster than a Jolly Crocodile uh, at base. Um, unless the crocodile has Scarf, of course, I can't outspeed that. I've got Booster Energy with the boosting the special attack. Um, reason being is I want to hit everything really hard. I know I'm not going to outspeed Dragapult. I could try, but the problem is, like, it's just so easy for him to switch into something to force me out. Even if I can try to get faster than Dragapult, I didn't think it was worth it per se. Um, unless I can get my agility off. Uh, and if I get agility and booster energy special attack, I might be set up to win the game. My moves are Fiery Dance, of course, my fire type option to also gets me boosts. I didn't opt for Flamethrower or Fire Blast because I don't really need it. I'm going to be clicking Fiery Dance against Scizor every time that it's out, and whatever comes in, I might get a boost against. So that would be really good. I've got Dazzling Gleam because Fairy types actually do hit this team pretty hard. The Dragapult before it Terras is weak. Grimmsnarl, Crook, Gudra are all weak to Fairy, so that's consideration. And then the last coverage move, I was debating Energy Ball, um, which would hit Azumarill and Crook harder than any of the other moves I could have, but I opted for Discharge. Reason being that Discharge has a chance to kill some Azumarill sets, not the Assault Vest, but has a chance to kill it with my Booster Energy boost. And then also Discharge does a lot of work against some of these other neutral Pokemon, and has the chance to paralyze them. So that's sort of what I was going for there. Um, we'll see. It's kind of gimmicky. I might I might not bring it again given the choice, but if it comes through for me, then that'll be really good. Next we've got the Agency Pyramid. Um, I opted to go for really high defense with the Iron Press set. I have a little bit of special defense so that I can survive a Choice Specs Flash Cannon from a Steel-type Dragapult. Now, I know it doesn't get Flash Cannon, but, Terra Blast is essentially the same thing. So I wanted to be able to survive one shot just in case it comes down to it, and I can get my Body Press or my Salt Cure off, depending on what my last couple Pokemon are. Um, I don't know. It might come into play at some point, and it also is just a little bit of help against Shadow Balls if I need to switch into those. So that's something. Uh, for Thigh Highs, I've got the Assault Vest to tank up a lot of special attacks. But I'm going to be primarily defensive because this is my catch-all Azumarill answer. I'm guaranteed to OHKO a 252 HP Azu with Power Whip, not a 252 HP with a bunch of defense investment necessarily, but I doubt he'll do that. And I'm also going to be faster than an Adamant Azumarill, and that's pretty much it. I could have tried to optimize my HP and defense to give myself the maximum physical bulk, but I also want Serena to have the opportunity to come in on special attacks as well. So I figured that it was more important to have more HP. Um, for Father Christmas, we're faster than Adamant Azumarill. We're guaranteed to 2-hit KO a 252 HP Azu with Giga Drain if it doesn't have Assault Vest. Um, we've got Blizzard, because obviously you run Blizzard on Father Christmas. Aurora Veil, um, and Leech Seed. I've got the Icy Rock so that I can keep the snow up longer for my Agent Jaeger. Agent Jaeger is a belly drum set. We have 4 HP because we need to have an even number of HP for belly drum so that we can hit our citrus berry after the belly drum. We've got completely maxed attack. We have just enough speed so that when we're in the snow, we'll be faster than a Jolly Scarf Pissimian and any variation of Dragapult, unless Dragapult's Scarfed, but that would be absurd. And we're unboosted, we're faster than a Jolly Azumarill. So this is a really good speed tier, I think, for Agent Jaeger. Really not much that my opponent can do to outspeed this, especially if I get it in the snow. And if I manage to get a belly drum off, it might just sweep the game. Finally, I've got Agent Stinker, who has pretty heavy special defense to help me take on Dragapult. Unfortunately, I don't have great recovery. I just have Black Sludge, so it's not going to be a counter per se, but it will be a check. And then I've got some special attack investments so that I can get a guaranteed OHKO on a 252 HP Scizor with Fire Blast, and we're going to get a guaranteed 2-hit KO versus a 252 HP Azu with Sludge Bomb. And then Dark Pulse should do a decent amount to Dragapult, and Fire Blast is great if he goes for a Steel-type Dragapult. As it stands, this is a very spooky matchup. I can't lie. And obviously, the Azus, they're a great team. They're captained by a great player. So it's gonna take a lot of brain power to get through this game. But I have some decent confidence in myself. I think I can do this. So let's get into the game. All right, we're into the game. This was probably the hardest game for me to figure out exactly which Pokemon my opponent was gonna bring. I tried to have some catch-all options. If you told me to guess 4 Pokemon, I probably would have guessed Dragapult, Scizor, Azumarill. I maybe would have guessed Crocodile. If you gave me 6, Crocodile would have been in the top 6. But Muck and Goodra, I had no idea. I probably, in hindsight, probably should have thought of Goodra because he drafted it right at the deadline. I figured that if he was going to do, like, if he's drafting Pokemon at the deadline, it's probably for this matchup. Because it was, I mean, no offense to everybody else, clearly the hardest matchup for him right at the end. In any case, I have to be really careful here because I see a lot of poison on the field, particularly from this Muck. And then Goodra might have Sludge Bomb as well. So, yeah, got to be careful with my 2 Poison Weak, potentially 3 when I Terra Fairy the Garg. In any case, let's start. I don't even remember who I lead. I'm going to guess it's probably Stinker. Actually, Serena. Okay, so we're in versus the Dragapult, and I have my Thigh Highs in. This is going to be really important here. I would love to know what Dragapult he is. If he's Specs, then I can play around it one type of way. If he's Dragon Dance, I have to play around it a different type of way. Probably just lose, let's be honest. And if he's like a substitute variant, it also changes. So Serena's got the Assault Vest. I think I'd be willing to take a hit here. If not, I might go to Stinker. He's just gonna go out. I say hurry up and click. I guess I was getting impatient. No, I was probably just being funny. So he goes straight to Muck. Fair play to him. I just click what's in front of me, pretty much. I probably could have got a U-turn there. Don't know if I don't know if it would have been so terrible too, but if he Dragon Danced and I U-turned, then I would have been goobed. So, I don't know. Maybe it was the right call to just attack, just hit what's in front of me. I U-turn out, and I'm gonna go to Garg. While I'm a rock type, this thing cannot really do anything to me. So I think I'm just gonna Salt Cure away, and get some chip. If I had rocks, that would be great to get them up here. But I'm gonna Salt Cure, predicting a switch. I'm gonna go Fairy type here. In hindsight, I probably didn't need to. I think I only take about 50% from an Earthquake, from a max attack Crocodile, while I'm rock type. So I probably could have just held on to my rock type. It would have helped me out a lot against Muck in case I needed it again. But in any case, I go and body press. He does taunt me. I guess maybe predicting a stealth rock, maybe predicting me to curse up or something. I don't know. But I was that close to getting a kill right there, and that would have been nice if I did. It would have kept the rocks off the field, so I wouldn't have to try to get Serena in to spin them away. And he's got Dragapult, who's a great spin blocker. Now, one thing to note is once he goes Steel type, it's not a spin blocker anymore, but I don't know. Then he reveals Mud Shot on Muck, which is an extremely weird and in most cases bad move, but now that I see that he has Mud Shot, I say, oh shit, I cannot go into Iron Moth at all, because even if Mud Shot is a weird and bad move, it's still 4 times effective on Iron Moth, and it will absolutely smash it. In any case, I do go to Stinker here and take a decent amount of damage here. I'm really not sure what to do. I can't really switch into anything because I'd be in a lot of trouble if I did. He just poison jabs, probably predicting a switch. I get my 2 layers of Toxic Spikes up because I want to force his Scizor out later. And I'll go to the Agency Pyramid on what I predict to be a Mud Shot. I get the prediction right. I don't want to take a Poison Jab though, so I'll go back to Stinker. It gets rid of the spikes, which is really nice. And then I'm gonna go to Titan here on a predicted Toxic Spikes, and I Earthquake for not that much damage. What that shows me is that he has a bit of defense, and that's gonna be really scary because I don't know how much defense. I just know that he has some. If he was fully specially defensive, I would know what to do. If he was fully Fizz Def, I would know what to do. But he's got some mix, and that's really not good. He Poison Jabs me, which keeps me from being able to Belly Drum in his face. Actually, let's see, could I have? So I'm at 76. I would take 50, which would put me down to 26. Get 25 back, I'd be at 50. He does less than 50. So I would have been risking a poison had I done that, I guess. I mean, I was always risking a poison here, I guess. But it would have probably secured me a kill on probably Muck. That's who I would sack here if I went for the belly drum. But I would get absolutely clapped back by Scizor or Azumarill, which would not be nice. But I do get my Earthquake chip on Scizor. It's defensive. I come in and get rid of the hazards here, get some more chip on the Scizor, and sack the Skunk Tank. This is as good a time as any for me to get Iron Moth in. I go for a Discharge here, knowing it will kill the Scizor. I could have went for a Fiery Dance, but I thought he was gonna go to Azu. And had he done that, I would have had to switch out anyway. So in my mind, since I knew that Discharge was going to kill the Scizor, it was the best play, because if he switched to anything else, that was risking a paralysis. Like, for example, if he switched to Dragapult there, trying to catch like the Fiery Dance and then force me out, he might have gotten paralyzed. Now, the thing that sucks is I don't kill this Muck with anything, especially knowing that it has some special defense. So I think I just go for the Fiery Dance, hoping that it might do something. Hoping it might potentially get a kill. I don't think it would, but I don't know. I guess he thought I might kill, or he was predicting just some double to something. It would have been really nice, actually, if I got a double to Father Christmas, but I don't think I would ever do that against that Fang. I go for a Discharge here, not because it's the most damage, but because I want to get a paralysis. I don't get it, and he Earthquakes and kills. That sucks. I go to a Abomasnow to get my Aurora Veil up, and he Sludge Bombs for a decent amount. I don't get poisoned, thankfully, and then I Leech Seed to try to get some HP back, also to chip out whatever's in front of me. This is where I'm looking at this, and I'm like, man, I wish I had Earth Power. If I had Earth Power, I would be able to beat this Muck 1v1, but I don't. I go for Blizzard, and it doesn't quite kill, and he gets Toxic Spikes up. Not the worst thing that could happen, because my Serena could spin them away still, but it is very spooky. Here's a really pivotal turn here, actually. Let's go back and see this. So, the Dragapult. I know nothing about the Dragapult. It could be any set, any possible set here. And I think what I was thinking at this time was, if this is Specs, then it's any number of 50-50s that I will get the play right and win the game here. If he goes for, say, Terra Steel, Terra Blast, a switch to Agency Pyramid or to Thigh Highs would absolutely destroy my chances to win the game. If he Flamethrowers, I would need to go to exactly Agency Pyramid. But he could also be Substitute, and if he subs up right in front of my face while I switch out, I'm screwed. Because I know clearly he's going to have Terra Steel to hit my Garg. And clearly he's going to, he's going to outspeed Mysotitan. Or not, excuse me, not outspeed Mysotitan. He's going to survive a hit from Mysotitan because he'll be behind the sub. So my thought was, well, I'm just going to stay in. If he subs, I'm gonna try to break his sub with Blizzard. It has a there are favorable rolls for me to break the sub, unless he's like super especially defensive. Um, so he actually just opts to kill me there with the flamethrower. I go to Titan here, and I Earthquake. Now, the reason why I Earthquake, and it is not because I predicted him to Terra Steel, because as you can see, 45%, he would have lived it if he Terra Steeled, I think, on most rolls. I did this because I predicted him to switch to Azumarill on a potential Ice Spinner. If he switched to Azumarill on Ice Spinner, I would have had to switch to Thigh Highs, and then we would have had to get a bunch of plays right. I still would have been in a bad position. I most likely would lose, but it might be somewhat playable for me. Maybe somewhat possibly playable. But he stays in, and he flamethrowers and kills my Agent Jaeger. If I clicked Ice Spinner, I would have certainly killed this thing right here. And then he would have been last Mons, Gudra, and Azumarill. My Pyramid can 1v1 the Azumarill, and my Jaeger will basically 1v1 the Gudra. So if he loses this Dragapult, he absolutely loses his win con. So he stayed in, potentially letting me get the kill on him. And he would have lost the game. I think if I were him, if I was going to stay in and Flamethrower, I would have Terra Steeled there. Because, well, you survive the Earthquake. You could still use it against Serena, although you're forced out because you'll be at like 10%. But I don't have hazards up. You can always bring the Dragapult back in. Yeah, for my money, he should have done that. Now, where that could have been spooky as well is he didn't know if I maybe had Superpower in the back. And if I had Superpower and I clicked it there on a Terra Steel, then he would have lost the Dragapult and then also lost the game. So I guess I can't blame him for not going for the Terra right there, but this play right here, I don't mean to say that, you know, I'm salty that he got the play right, so I'm calling his play bad. I am saying that I think that it was a very risky play to try to get like it was a 50-50 to get a 100% end game versus you could have made a much safer play and still had like an 80 to 90% chance to win the game. So in any case, it doesn't really matter what could have happened on that turn. That's what happened. And I go to Serena here. It's the only thing on my team that can live. It was the only thing on my team that could well, I thought, actually, thinking about it, that's kind of a choke as well on my part. I mean, the game was over for me. I couldn't really do anything, but I could have went to Garg there because he's locked into Flamethrower and then Salt Cured at least. It's not gonna win 1v1 against Gudra, I don't think, but that's probably what I should have done. I don't know why I went to Serena there. That was a bad play on my part. I guess I didn't know for sure that he was Choice Specs, because none of the rolls necessarily said that he was until I saw the Serena. So if he wasn't choice specs, maybe that was the play for me to go to Sar and soak up whatever damage, and then I would know for sure. But at that point, I know, oh, he's choice specs, and then there's basically no way for me to win. I get the Salt Cure on Gudra. It's gonna Sludge Bomb, do about 50, and I can recover. And I will out recover it, but it just does not look good for me. I think there's a roll or a crit chance that he will kill there. I recover. In hindsight, maybe I should have just kept recovering instead of salt curing on that one turn to get more chip on the Gudra. But I thought he might switch to Azu as well, or he might switch to Dragapult. I don't know. But there's absolutely no chance that I win. If I was 100% HP, I actually would have lived that. And then I could have got a body press off and killed. But then it would have been last Mon Serena at 32% versus Azumarill. And I don't think I would have. I don't know. I might have won. It would have come down to a play rough, or not a play rough, a power whip, I think. Plus, I don't know if he was Sap Sipper either. That's something to always take note of. He might be Sap. He could always be Sap Sipper Azu. Yeah, and I lost there. That was tough for me. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could have, like here, instead of go for Salt Cure, just recover again, and then I would have been at full. And he could keep Sludge Bombing. I could keep recovering. Eventually he would go to Dragapult. He would do about 90-something% to me. I would body press and kill him, and then it would be Azu versus Sar. I might have been able to win there. I actually might have been able to win. If I didn't play like dog doo-doo. And especially if I... Hold on. Especially if instead of going into Sar here, I went to Garg. It's interesting, actually. Okay, so maybe it wasn't as goobed for me as I thought. And if I played a little bit better, I could have had a chance. But, I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. Like, Pokemon is a game of information, and with hindsight, it's really easy for me to know what the right plays are, because I know what all his sets are. Except, I guess I didn't even know what the Azu set was. That could have been a wild card. But, in hindsight, yeah, it's a choice specs Dragapult. I could have just went to Pyramid when it was clicking anything other than Terra Blast Steel, and gotten my free Salt Cure on the Switch. In hindsight, I could have done... I probably could have... I don't know. I could have picked my attacks a little better against it. That's the thing about Dragapult. That's why it's such a high value pick for draft leagues like this. Is you never really know what set it's gonna run, and especially with terrestrialization, it has options to deal with its counters, or its would-be counters. If it weren't for terrestrialization, right? Garganical is a straight up counter to almost every set that Dragapult could run, because you're taking half from all ghost type moves. You've got huge defense, so you don't care about Dragon Darts really, and you're chipping it out with Salt Cure. Even a Draco doesn't quite kill, and you recover, and then Dragapult can't do anything. But You know, this is why we have the Terra rules, so we know what Dragapult is going to do is Terra Steel or Ghost, but I mean, Ghost would not help him really in this matchup. And yeah, I mean, definitely things I could do better. Definitely things I could do better. Even when I thought the game was lost, now looking back at it, I had chances to win. I should have just kept clicking recover here. I would have been in a position to potentially kill this Dragapult. I could have 1v1'd the Azu, given that I hit a Power Whip. I don't know. Also, you know, he can't, Azu can't Aqua Jet because of Queenly Majesty on Agent Thigh Highs, blocking all priority moves. So that's just how the cookie crumbles. I got out. Do I want to say I got outplayed? I think I did get outplayed. I think the Muck set was really good. I think the Gudra set was really good for this. I think that the other brings, like, they're scary. I had to prep around them. I had to spend a lot of resources on them. Like, Skunk Tank basically died for not much. And even though I think that some of the plays that my opponent made, particularly turns 24, 25, had a chance to really go south on him. I mean, he got them right, so, like, what can you say? What can you say, really? In any case, that means I'm going to be a 2 seed for the playoffs. Even if I lose my next game, even if the Azus lose their next game and I win by the tiebreaker rules, like the head-to-head matchup, I can't go down. The person who would be threatening to jump up is the Grafted Graphias, but since I beat them, they are not able to jump me without having a better record, and there's just not enough games left in the regular season for them to get a better record than me. And, you know, even if the Azus lose, I mean, I can't jump them because there's only one more game, and they have the head-to-head, obviously, here. There's a little bit of interesting stuff going on for the lower seeds, potentially some movement down there, and we'll get to that in the next video with the reactions to those games. And I guess my takeaway from this is I have to prepare myself against these steel and steel and poison type maneuvers. Like, I have a very steel and poison weak team because I don't have a steel type on my team. I probably should have picked one up if I could, even like Bronzong, or God, I don't even know what steel types there are in this generation anymore, but any of those could help me, at least, like, dissuade my opponents from bringing so many poison and steel type moves. But I just don't have one, so I have to play the hands that I dealt myself. In any case, we will see you all next time for my reactions to all the other games from this week.
What's happening? He's totally changed! How am I supposed to fight a Tiny?
puny bones! Somebody's coming! Who was that?
You put my dad down right now!
Oh no, it's you! Please don't hurt me. I'll do anything you say. I'll put your father down if you want. It might be one piece at a time, but I'll definitely put him down. Now which piece would you like first?
You better not hurt him!
It's a little too late for that.
Destructo Disc! Please don't give up. Listen, my body is shredded. I can't use it anymore, so you're going to have to fight for both of us. He's got to be hurting pretty bad, too. We can't give in. This is our only chance. Please go on.
Dad, I don't think I can do it. He's just too strong for me. I'm scared of him.
Son, don't be scared of him. Hey, you're a lot stronger than you think. Piccolo trained you very well. You have to have faith in him. You can win. And look, you're not alone. You still have Krillin to lend you a hand.
I can't move. I don't think I can do it, Dad.
Yes, you can! I know it, and so did Piccolo. He believed in you. That's why he gave his life to save yours.
You little brat! That kid hurt me! Ha! That trick again, huh?
Here goes nothing!
What is that thing?